Welcome to the Concrete Town Hall for April 2025. I'm Franz. This is Andy.
Hey, everybody.
Let's get into it and check out the news. We did some core releases this month. Andy, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have done another release candidate for 9.4. So in 9.4, there's a whole lot of new stuff coming. We've talked about what is coming in other totally random, so I'm not going to rehash those, but there are except that there's new error handling, a fair amount of improvements to importing and exporting, and then a fair amount of just the general quality of life improvements and some minor new features, and things like CSS dark mode support in your themes if you choose to accept that stuff. So check out previous town halls for sort of a broader overview of that. The full list of stuff available in 9.4 is already in the release notes section. And if you are running a 9.3 site and you're curious about upgrading, definitely spin up a stage of that site and take 9.4 for a test drive. It should be ready to go. The next version of 9.4 that we do a release for will be next month on the first Tuesday of the month, and it will be the final. It will not be a release candidate. It will be the go-to live version. So definitely check that out these days. Kick the tires on it. We are pleased with that. It also, PHP 8.4 support is in that as well. So if that's something you're interested in, 9.4 is what you want, and it's coming very soon. And then additionally, we have done an 8.5 release for the first time since September of last year. That's 8.5.20, so the 8.5.20. Nothing's huge to report in there. There are some nice little improvements to export XML in that, courtesy of Mlocati. I can definitely tell he is working on a migration of some sort, because our migration tool and all of the tools around that, including the core, is really getting improved in that regard, which is always nice. So if you're running an version 8 site and you're curious about version 9, and for whatever reason you don't feel like doing the 9 upgrade on the site, maybe you want to just pull in the content that you need, or you want to start fresh with a new site, but you still need a lot of content from the other site. 8.5.20 is a great choice to upgrade your version 8 sites in order to do that export and to get that content out, because he's really been working a lot on those tools. And it also has a couple of security updates, as 9.4.0 does to pretty low risk stuff, but definitely good to check out. And just some little bug fixes here and there as well. So if you're running version 8, 8.5.20 or 8.5.20 is out there and ready for you to install.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing is if you're running version 9, you should set up a stage and upgrade it to 9.4 release candidate that we just made. Make sure that it's behaving and we're behaving, because that's going to be official next month. And if you're running on version 8, the 8.5.20 is a good release. Just a couple of security things, makes it some stuff under the hood to make it easier to migrate content out of there, which you should be doing, because we will not do security updates for version 8 forever.
That's true.
There will be an end of life eventually. So perhaps as we start talking more firmly about version 10, we will start to put some limits on how long we're going to do releases for version 8. Concrete is a open source project that is only here through the contributions of all sorts of people building all sorts of cool stuff, and we're always very appreciative and amazed and impressed with what folks are coming up with. And what we like to do once a month is shout out some folks that have contributed their time in helping one another in the forums or documentation, pointing out issues in GitHub, or even helping resolve issues. So let's do a couple of shout outs and then point to a specific issue that somebody helped with in GitHub and kind of talk about what made that awesome. So Andy, do you want to do the shout outs?
Absolutely. So in this month's shout outs for documentation, I'd like to thank Olive Tree, Carmen Tomi, Mlocati, Triple I, C. Grower, Steve V, Schnabel, Marcus, and Masuba. Thank you for all the documentation. That's really encouraging too, because that's a lot of people to help contribute documentation. That's great. And then this month in GitHub activity, which means submitting issues and submitting pull requests, big shout out to Mlocati. He has been working tirelessly in and around the Concrete ecosystem forever, but especially in the past couple months with version 8, version 9, and some add-ons that I see he's been working on too, pretty aggressively in GitHub. Really strong work there, and also strong work from Azukanan, Jgars 186, Manio, Dan Clausen, Heflamine, Kishi, Nick Red 001, NGC 5548, Marco Chioni, John the Fish, Bloody Iron, Ashish Anel, D. Pierre IW, and Mlokani again. He shows up twice, and that is appropriate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And is there something on GitHub that you want to talk about?
Absolutely. I can actually do you 3 better, because I'm going to take you into 4 GitHub issues that really moved the needle over the last couple of weeks. These are all kind of in a similar wheelhouse, because they're all submitted by Ehu Kanan, so thank you again for that. And they all they kind of tackle different issues of the core, but I really wanted to shout out what I think makes them really, really helpful, beyond just the stuff that they do, which of course is helpful. These kind of run the gamut. So this first one, fix issues with the search block and page list with unexpected parameters. So this is kind of an edge case search block fix. It's kind of one of those things where most people won't bump up against this issue, but if you do, it's going to make your site be weird. Or in his case, I think he was noticing a ton of exceptions coming through in his logs because his site was being hit by like a pen test. And so they were throwing all sorts of malformed input at these pages. And the pages weren't, it wasn't causing security holes or anything, but what it was doing was, unexpected input was filling up the error logs with error exceptions. So he cleaned that up there. And in a similar vein, did the same thing with the messenger backend. So he sanitized, when you get unexpected input at another endpoint, he was cleaning that up so it doesn't fill up the logs. And, what makes these 2 things great, other than, this is the kind of thing that big clients will notice that small clients really won't, they have tests. And the other 2 issues in this list, fix theme grid layout area name when theme does not support the grid framework. Again, it's kind of an edge case, but he includes a test with this one, and same with fix area layout get by ID with an unexisting layout ID. So again, this is something you will only see when you have a big site that's been around for a while, perhaps it's undergone some content changes, perhaps you've added things and removed things and cleaned things up, and you remove stuff, and then later on you realize certain pages are built using the old stuff that you removed, and maybe your site doesn't render because of this one edge case. And many sites won't exhibit this behavior, but if you're a big site that kind of goes through a long content life cycle, you're going to run up against this kind of stuff. And this thing, these other 3, they all have tests, and they all, he took the time to not just fix the issue, but write or, add to the existing tests to make sure that this new code works, and make sure that going forward, other changes we add to the core are still going to work with these behaviors. And so, we always tell people, like, if you can, try to submit a test. But I mean, do we always submit a test when we, open merge requests? We don't always do that. And I really appreciate the fact that, when Aiden kind of submits a merge request, more often than not, he's got a test to go along with that. And that is really, just wanted to make sure explicitly that is noticed, and it is very much appreciated. So thank you, Aiden Kanan, for these 4 bug fixes and many more over the years. And thank you for submitting tests along with them.
Awesome. Thanks, Aiden Kanan. Well done.
Hello, I'm John the Fish, and welcome to the Marketplace News. Our first release this month is the Majorca theme. Majorca was originally developed by Nipper and has been updated for version 9 and re-released by Macro Digital. Majorca is a free theme. Now we have an integration with the external Popper service. This is by Popper, so it's an officially supported add-on. You use an external Popper account to design interactive pop-ups such as CTA widgets. Popper is free in the marketplace, and your Popper account includes a free tier for evaluation and basic sites. That's all from me, so over to Noor for the rest of the news.
Thank you, John. First on my list, I have Redirect by Browser Language, a package by Concrete CMS master Mlokani. Say you have a multilingual website and a visitor lands on a page that is not in the browser's preferred language. This package, through a page attribute, will redirect the visitor to the same page with the correct language. Simple enough, yes, but Mlokadi wouldn't be himself if he hadn't thought of everything. You can customize the redirect to deal with query strings, modify them as needed, include post requests if any, deal with users who want to edit the page, redirect only on first visit, on first page visit, extra. There's plenty to keep you happy. And if that was not enough, this package is open source and costs exactly $0 in any currency. Then we have another package by a new best friend, Mlokadi, him again, Blocks Cloner. If this thing doesn't make you fall in love instantly, you have no soul. Put simply, you will be able to export areas and their designs and or all their blocks as XML files and as any images or other files they use, and then re-import them in a different website. And you can also do the same with single blocks. So you click on an area or a block, you select what you want to export, designs or the blocks, and you get the files. And you import elsewhere, and you're done, like magic. There's more to it, but this already should be more than enough. And now about the price. It's $30 in the marketplace, but the source code is available for free on GitHub. If you don't buy it, get the man a coffee. Seriously, he loves it. And last, from they who hold the keys to the fort, Portland Labs themselves, the aptly named Static Site Exporter. With this package, you can export your site as a set of HTML, CSS, and JS files, as well as images and other files used on your pages. Blocks that need dynamic processing, like the search block, or blocks using Ajax with roots are not supported, obviously. Other than that, you can do a lot. You can automate and schedule your exports. You can host the resulting files on any other host. It even supports multi-sites and to let you know if something can't be exported. And what you get with a static site is a huge boost in performance and increased security. You know, no database call, no PHP. If you want an easy way to distribute a site without the whole CMS behind, this is for you. And the price is $1,900 in the marketplace. That's $1,900 in the marketplace. Well, that's it for today. Thank you. Stay safe and see you next time. Bye.
Okay, it's the showcase for a concrete site that we have found in the wild. And this month we are looking at lifebrain.io, which has a really cool looking logo. Beyond that, what do we have going on in here?
All right, let me show you this site. They're doing some pretty cool and interesting things in the life insurance space. So it's a membership platform built specifically for agents, and the goal is to completely streamline how leads come in. So instead of the usual clunky process, this connects directly to your CRM and pulls your leads in, runs quotes against multiple insurance types using some machine learning and AI. And then it serves up different application options for you to choose from, different insurance carriers, so insurance agents can move through the process a lot faster. User experience is fun, nice. And then the creator of this site is Pixo. I think they are out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know those.
Yeah, long-time concrete experts have been out here and visited us before. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Jess. A good find. And thanks, Pixo, for building this and choosing concrete.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So we are going to pull some questions out from the community. These are threads that have come up in the forums that there's been some back and forth on or not, and we thought we would just jump in and get some official answers to these. A bit of a discussion of changing X to Blue Sky. A process to add additional social networks to the social icons Twitter thing, 100%. A process to get rid of X or just change X underneath people to Blue Sky seems like a great way to alienate a lot of folks. Certainly no love for Elon here, but we got to be really careful about changing stuff that already works. At least that's the way I see it. So you see anything here I'm missing, Andy?
No, that sounds right to me. I am happy to announce that for Steve and Locati that we are shipping. We have added Blue Sky as a service to share content to, in version 9.4 and as a social link as well. So that's good.
All right, next question. Folks are asking about changing the file manager default sort order. Masuba's hoping to have the file manager default by, I think, recent, which kind of makes sense, I guess. And instead of by name, which, also depending on your view, makes sense. My personal take is it'd be really great if it just remembered what you did last, because I'll tend to get into some corner where I'm editing content and it's like, this is the folder or whatever. Somehow I've got where I want it to get, and I'd love for it to just every time I brought it up be there. I don't know. This one to me should be a GitHub issue. Happy to continue to refine the file manager user experience. I think the file manager today works very well, but as with all things, I'm sure it can be tweaked to kind of match the user experience better. So I imagine there probably are any number of small things like this where it's like, hey, can we have better sort order options? Can it have more persistent memory where it's like, this would be pretty simple GitHub issue to make. It probably even come with a pull request. It looks like people are talking about that in here. And it could have a huge impact on quality of life because I know from my experience, if you're spending a lot of time building stuff with Concrete, a couple of clicks turning into a single click is a big deal. So yeah, by all means, stick this on GitHub and we will review and try to incorporate. And then the last one we were talking about is this workflow notification. As I understand it, if you are using workflow on top of permissions, and you submit, you chase them around the page, and you're like, okay, I want to submit to workflow. And then you hit submit to workflow again without making any changes, you're getting 2 messages. And that we should probably be checking, has anything actually changed before we let you submit another workflow request? Feel like it at some points in history we have, so this might be a regression. But I think if you were to describe this and say, look, nothing has changed, maybe you can make it on Skyline. All right, I've set up workflow. Boom. I've Skyline being demos on our site, and I'm changing content, and I hit this button over and over again. I get these notifications stacking up. It'd be really great if I could just have one, unless something has changed. That seems like a valid bug that we would love to have a pull request for, or eventually work on ourselves. Am I missing anything about that, Andy?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, okay. There are 3 questions from the community that have some official answers. I hope that helps. And thanks for being so involved, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
There you go.